Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel. The Paladins Steel Forged update brings along with it a brand new siege map titled Bazaar. This new map has a few unique features, including a two-layered square control point with overlooking balconies, team-specific one-way gates, and a very interesting design. The design ties back into the lore of Shattered Desert, and it looks like this Bazaar idolizes a familiar fox and reveals our upcoming next champion, the Fox Deity. Io will most likely be the next champion after this patch and will take the role of a support champion. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed the new map. It looks like it will be my new favorite map so far.
To continue playing the game at this point, like I just want to stop and look at everything, because like even now there are certain details I'll see on like Stone Keep that I'll be like, I never noticed that before. And when you add in this much detail to a map, it makes it a lot easier to get distracted in the middle of it. Of course, we're going to be able to kind of go in and walk around and like look at any of the specifics, but I mean, this is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, like seeing this map even from like its initial concepting phase, like when we were throwing out ideas and like the environment like meetings, it was crazy. Like even though I knew what was going where, I was still like sitting in a play test and I'm just like looking at one area of the map and I'm like, that's so pretty, and then of course I die like 2 seconds into like observing something gorgeous. But our environment team did a freaking fantastic job with everything.
Know you could go back there.
I can see some like AFK kicks from people just getting lost in the fountain. They're just gonna sit there and like look at it the entire time, and then it'll be like, hey guys, like you know there's a game going on. Your team's lost 2 points already. What are you doing?
No, it's so pretty. And then the extra touch that Roland from VFX added, and we had our audio team also add like a little bit of an ambient sound pass. I think it really ties it all together.
The water features are incredible. It just feels so alive with like all of the fire and the plants and the water. It's great.
And I think that was actually something you had kind of mentioned when we were rehearsing through this, was just like looking at it, like this feels very much like, I want to say like a lived-in map. Like there's no people around, but I mean, I would want to get out of there as fast as possible when people started fighting as well.
Honestly, like I want to kind of just like be here.
Yeah.
Like I want to be like one of those people that's like, you know, at the little marketplace buying spices. Like it just looks like kind of a cozy outdoor setting. So
it's really cool. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, like this was when it was in test maps. I think it was the one with Thrones.
Yes.
Or Throne, one of those. Because I remember, I only know that because I remember the point fight, because it's that nice little like square area. It's a little different than some of the other points. You have 4 walls to kind of dance around, but the statue in the middle makes it not necessarily awkward, but you have to play around it carefully.
Yeah, it's really cool. We're doing some interesting gameplay things with this map. Obviously, you just touched on the point being pretty non-traditional, and also the interesting mechanics that are present are this basically side-by-side, 2-facing balcony situation going on. It creates this really cool like back and forth, like over the point fight while your damage is fighting the other damage, while your front lines are below fighting the other front line support on the point. It's pretty dynamic with these kind of like darker flanks on the lower half of the balcony. And there's some really cool flank routes too on either side of here as the push begins. Some interior spaces that are ready to weave in and around. The newest probably thing is our gate mechanic. If we can kind of wander over to one of the task force gates, probably your own if you can find it.
Or like the little portcullises.
Yeah, these little portculli, if that is the plural. So as you can see right here on screen, there is this door, and this is task force, so team specific. It will only open up for the team that is coming from this direction. So it creates some interesting flank potential play here, depending on what stage of the game is at. You can weave in and out of these. You can also open them and have an enemy come through them if you're not careful enough, giving that enemy a chance to flank in a little bit more superior of a manner. So see on the opposite side that they're red and you can't progress
let
through
me
them.
in screen.
Right. Boom, just like that.
But it's open just long enough that, like, I mean, in this case, like, you have pounce, like, you can just dash right through, and all of a sudden you might be at a positional advantage.
Or you can go over it if your character has vertical mobility, right? But now you have to buy in with that cooldown expenditure to hop that fence.
How many Zen spites over the wall do you think we're going to see?
Oh, many. many.
I need to get over there.
Yeah.
He'll jump through. And then the payload, because I actually remember this one, I don't want to say it's longer, but it's kind of like a little more roundabout because you have to go right around this middle area that you see right in front of you.
This is not very. It's about
not
same
too
distance
long,
as you
not
would
too
expect.
short.
Yep. for our traditional siege pushes. What a kind of an interesting part is what I've labeled Ult Alley, which is this space right here that he's firing into.
Oh,
This
I remember
corner,
that
this bend
badly.
is insane. It's an insane moment to clutch, and it oftentimes determines the outcome of the push entirely.
I ended up on this map in the test maps a
Yes.
lot of the time against an Amani after she had recently been released, and that was probably the most dragon burned area of any map that I have ever seen.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that, and I definitely recommend that if your payload is in this spot, you maybe have your flanks kind of experiment with what's going on with those new flank routes. We've got some, I guess, test footage here going for you guys too.
And just looking at the lore of this one, it seems to be pretty heavily tied into Shattered Desert, right?
Oh yeah.
There seems to be a lot of
Similar
those
themes.
same themes and stuff, and this is kind of along the lines of the people who worshipped at the Shattered Desert. This is where they would live, and this is where they would shop and actually be most of the time. So there's a lot of similar themes throughout it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you can see, I guess, like for gameplay specifically, it's very interesting, I think, as flanks on this map, because like you had said, Garrett, like there's a lot of kind of different routes you can take. And also when you look up towards the balconies, the one thing that I kind of think of is when you look at like Serpent Beach, the balconies are facing each other from one team to the other. When you're looking at Ice Mines, your balconies are facing each other from one team side to the other. So this one's kind of changing that and looping you around so you're more perpendicular to where everyone is.
Yes, no, it definitely got a different flavor of gameplay while at the same time being uniquely Paladins. It's really cool.
It's just fun. I can't wait for this map. I'm so happy we're getting so many new siege maps. Like, it's just like, it's so fun to be able to watch them, especially when they come through, because like I had almost, I guess, not even forgotten that Shattered Desert had been